Welcome to the Bookish Quilter, where we talk about quilts and we talk about books. My name is Barbara, and today we're going to talk about moving beyond meandering, simple free motion quilting designs. This video is geared towards people who are somewhat familiar with free motion quilting but have not moved on beyond meandering or simple loops. I'm going to give you 3 easy patterns here today and show you how you can branch out a little bit from these 3 patterns. The first one I'm going to show you is the cloud pattern that I have in the quilt behind me. I designed these all for my long arm, but they are all patterns you can easily do on a domestic or a mid-arm machine. One of the important things to do before you start quilting these designs is to develop some muscle memory. And by doing that means you need a large drawing surface and something to draw with. You do not want a piece of copy paper and a pen, and I'm going to show you why right now. When you put a pen in your hand, your brain thinks you're going to write. And the movements you make with that pen are very small movements with your fingers, like this. That's not what you do when you free motion quilt. When you free motion quilt, you're moving your arms. You're moving from your shoulders, your elbows, your wrist. You're not just moving your fingers. And to develop muscle memory, it's far better to have a large drawing surface and a thick pointed drawing utensil that is appropriate for that surface. I'm going to show you on a whiteboard, and I have a dry erase marker. You could use a crayon on a paper bag that you cut apart and spread on your table. You can use a chalkboard. You can use a magic marker on old newspaper. You just want a thick marker and a large surface. So we're going to start with the cloud designs, and I'm going to show you how to do that. The next step you're going to do, once you've developed your muscle memory, you want to make a quilt sandwich to practice on. Every time I do a new quilting design, I practice on a sandwich. The sandwich is simply fabric you don't care about, sandwiched together with a piece of batting. And this is not only for you to practice your design on, but to make sure that your tension is set okay for your machine to do free motion quilting. Now I keep mine because some of my sandwiches have some pretty nice designs that I may want to refer back to. This is one where I show simple designs, loops and stars and some simple flowers. This one has more elaborate feathers. And this one has a variety of other designs. So it's a good idea to make a few of these before you start free motion quilting. Just have them on hand. I would say make them at least 18 inches square. So as I said, I'm going to show you the whiteboard, and I'm going to show you how I do this cloud design, and then show you how to take it to the next level. Generally, when you're working on a domestic machine, you start in the center, whereas when you're working on a long arm on a frame, you start in the corner, a top corner, and work to the side. But I'm going to start in the center. You're going to make a few scallops. 3 or 4 is a good one. And then you're going to go into a curl like this. You're going to backspace, and you're going to do more scallops. Back. You're going to curl, going to go back, and you can make the scallops in the same direction or the opposite direction. So here I'm going like this. Now I'm going like this. I'm going to go back. Just keep going around the quilt. Once you get the hang of that, You're now going to throw in some stars and moons. So we're going to go do a star. Everybody knows how to make a star. Just throw a star in there. Go again. We're going to go around a little further, and we're going to want to put a crescent moon in there. And we're going to keep going a little more and do another star. Just keep practicing. It's very easy, and it's a nice all-over design, which means once it's on your quilt, any little mistakes will magically disappear. The next pattern I'm going to show you is a double loop. You probably know how to do a loop, which is where you do loops in opposite directions, and over, and under, and over, and under, over, etc. A double loop is going to be where you make your loop, and when you get down to the bottom where you're closing it off, you're making a second smaller loop. Again, this making a loop and a second smaller loop. Making a loop and a second smaller loop. You're still continuing alternating over and under, over and under, over and under. This just adds a little more interest and is very, very fast and easy to do. Now again, it is important to practice over and under. And if you don't know what I mean by over and under, it's like this. Over is like this. Under is like this. Over is like an O, under is like an E. And you just need to alternate that. Just remember, it is like your handwriting. It is individual, and everyone has their own unique style. The last pattern I'm going to show you is one I call curls. It's very easy to do. It's a nice all-over pattern by itself, but where it really shines is where you add it to other patterns. A curl starts with just a curl, and then you're going to go back part way, and then you're going to make a curl in the opposite direction. Go back, make another curl, go back, and another curl. And you're going to do this over and over. Now, as I said, where this really shines is where you add it to other things. So let's say this is something I'll be showing you in a later video, but let's say you're just making little flowers. So you're going to make a little flower here. You're going to go like this. And then you're going to want a curl. And then you're going to do another little flower here. And then you're going to want a curl. It's just nicer than having all flowers. I've done this with Christmas quilts where I've done holly leaves. Thrown in a couple berries, and then brought in a curl here and there, and that helps you travel across your quilt to where you're going to then do your next set of leaves or flowers or whatever you're doing. So practice your curls. This is a great one to have in your toolbox. So now that you've seen those three designs, I hope you'll get your drawing surface out and you'll practice all three of them, and then you'll make your sandwiches and you'll practice on your own sewing machine. I will be having more videos in this series. I'm going to show you some other very simple designs and then show you how you can add on to those. And I hope you've liked this video. I hope you'll give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you next time. There's no book review on this. This was just a quick video that I wanted to get out today. So I will see you next time. Happy quilting. Have a great day.